You have often seen opinion polls on everything from politics to cricket to cinema. Some of you may have even participated in them. Then there are exit polls during elections. And of course, I admit many of us got it spectacularly wrong during last Lok Sabha elections and in some state polls too. So why bother you with another opinion poll? Hello, I am Kaushik Deka and you're watching me on India Today-NE. Now let me go back to the opinion poll. Opinion polling is not a fad for India Today Group. It's a legacy. Way back in 1980, India Today Group commissioned perhaps the country's first opinion poll, which was conducted by two young scholars of Delhi School of Economics, Pranoy Roy and Ashok Lahiri. And what was the result? India Today Group nailed it. Indira Gandhi coming back to power proved us right. 2 decades later, we institutionalized the process. Since 2001, India Today Mood of the Nation opinion poll has been our way of checking the nation's pulse twice a year, around Republic Day and around Independence Day. So, this is the 46th edition of India Today Mood of the Nation poll. That's 24 years of tracking what India thinks and wants. Now, as Assam is heading to polls next year, we have added a few questions related to Assam to check the public mood in Assam. But before we deep dive into those numbers, let me underline a few points. This is not a drawing room exercise. Every question is debated and discussed, opinions are tested, sample sizes are verified, and new questions are added, old questions are tracked. And then when responses come in, every data is scrutinized, checked and rechecked until publication. The numbers, the results, they remain locked up till we go for publication, till the last moment. And that's why it has always remained the most credible opinion poll in the country. So what's the mood of Assam in August 2025? The first question that we asked was, who do you want to see as the next chief minister of the state? And 41% respondents said they don't want a change. They want Himanta Biswa Sarma to continue as the CM, which means he still remains the most popular leader in the state. But he has a very tough competition. Congress Gaurav Gogoi is backed by 38% respondents, which means between Gaurav Gogoi and Himanta Biswa Sarma, there is a 3-point gap, which is in political terms a photo finish. But the plot thickens here. If we look at the party position, the BJP commands 45% support. That means 45% respondents of India Today Mood of the Nation poll backed the BJP to come back to power, while only 36% backed the Congress. What does that mean? The Gaurav Gogoi is hugely popular, but Congress is unlikely to beat the BJP in the next assembly election. Perhaps Gaurav Gogoi's popularity extends beyond the party's organizational strength in the state. And that has happened because of Gaurav Gogoi's performance at the national level, his visibility, and the way he has conducted himself in parliament, which is quite commendable, and that's why he has a huge support among the youth particularly. But that doesn't mean that Himanta Biswa Sarma has lost his sheen, and I'll come back to that point later. Now let us go back to the party's position. As I said, BJP has 45% support, which is a significant rise because in 2021 assembly election, the BJP had only 33% vote share. Of course, the Congress has also gained some ground. It is 36% now from 29%. The smaller allies of both sides, NDA and we can call it now India, the AGP, BPF, AUDF, they all have shrunk if you see the numbers that have been shown on the screen. But the interesting story is AUDF. AUDF had 9% vote share in 2021. If elections are held today, they are backed by only 2% respondents, which means that AUDF's loss is Congress gain. All the votes are going to Congress from AUDF. That's a kind of, perhaps, if I can say so, the Muslim consolidation around the Congress. Now the next question. What is really bothering Assam's voters? Not surprising here. Unemployment tops the list at 39%. So nearly 4 out of 10 people say jobs are their primary concern. That's a warning signal for the incumbent CM, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. Tied at second place, illegal infiltration from Bangladesh, Assam's perennial problem, and point is corruption. Both 18% respondents saw these the most important problems of Assam. 13% respondents were concerned about lack of development. So the current government must take note of these two things. Of course, they are making a huge noise about illegal infiltration from Bangladesh, but people are equally concerned about lack of development and corruption as well. Encroachment and eviction also are making headlines these days, but only 4% saw them as a problem in the state. So the message from the people in this context is very clear: give us livelihood. The next question: how happy or unhappy are people of Assam with Himanta Biswa Sarma government? Here the mood is very mixed. 33% say they are very angry, but still they do not want a change. 32% say they are angry, but they want to change. And 28% say they are not at all angry. What does that mean? That means 65% respondents do not want to change the government. Of course, half of them have said that they are not happy with the government, but still 65% do not want any change. That actually indicates the weakness of the opposition. People may be upset with Himanta Biswa Sarma, but they still do not trust his rivals. We also asked the respondents to rate Himanta Biswa Sarma's performance as the CM of Assam. 45% found it good, first 27% it was average, and 21% rated it as poor. In Assam, there are around 40% Muslim population, and of those, large majority are Mias or Bangla-speaking Muslims of immigrant origin. Now, considering the way Himanta Biswa Sarma has been going against Mias, to get a favorable rating of 45% is quite commendable in my opinion. Himanta Biswa Sarma has also another reason to smile. India Today Mood of the Nation also rates the CMs across the nation. This time we divided the states into two groups: large state and small states. Large states are those which has more than 10 Lok Sabha seats, and small states are those which have less than 10 Lok Sabha seats. Now, among the large states, Himanta Biswa Sarma has emerged as the best performing CMs. Now, how did we do this? How did we find this? So, respondents in every state were asked to rate their CM in terms of satisfaction. Himanta Biswa Sarma's satisfaction rating got 45% people saying that they were satisfied with his performance. That was the highest among all big states. Now you may question that why small states are not taken together. For instance, Sikkim CM had a approval rating of 55%. But that will be very unfair if we compare big states and small states together, because in Sikkim only 300 respondents were asked, and in Assam we polled 7,000 respondents. So we decided to divide the states into two groups so that we don't unfairly compare big states and small states. But here is a red flag for Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. His approval rating has dropped from 55% in February this year to 45% this time. That's a 10 percentile point drop. Though he is the best performing CM in the country, he still has lost the rating of 10 percentile points in a year just before elections. It's a warning signal for him. Now let's focus on the performance of Himanta Biswa Sarma's colleagues. So who are the best performing ministers in Assam? Leading the pack is Education Minister Ranoj Pegu. 25% respondents found his performance to be satisfying. In the second position is Information Minister Piyush Hazarika. 22% respondents said they are satisfied with his performance. And the third position is Ajanta Neok, the Finance Minister. 20% respondents found her performance to be satisfying. And the fourth position is Revenue Minister Keshav Mahanta. 16% respondents backed his performance. And finally, in the fifth position is Panchayat Minister Ranjit Das, who got an approval rating of 11% respondents. The findings of India Today Mood of the Nation poll are not just random statistics. These are storylines that will shape campaigns, craft manifestos, and eventually will decide who will govern Assam next year. And what's the mood of Assam in August 2025? People are divided and restless, but still making up their mind. And every politician should take note of that. Thank you for watching India Today NE. We'll see you again next year.